A military appeals court ruling Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin cannot rescind the plea deals of three suspects responsible for the 9/11 attacks. Those plea deals would have them plead guilty in exchange for being spared the possibility of the death penalty. Here to discuss is President of 9/11 Justice, whose father died on 9/11, Brett Eagleson. Brett, thank you for joining us. Just real quick, so your father, Bruce, was killed in the trade centers on 9/11 when you were 15, as I recall?
That's right. Yeah, thank you for having me this morning.
It's good to see you. Now, on this story, it's kind of amazing. I would argue that the only reason that Secretary Austin decided to rescind this plea deal in the first place was because the administration got caught out on it, and you and others exposed them, and then they kind of ran around trying to undo it. Is that a fair assessment?
That's right. It was a politically motivated decision to rescind it. Yeah. We think that they knew all along that there was no way to do it, but in the heat of the election, in the lead up to November, they were utterly called out on the carpet for a horrific decision. Look, I haven't heard from a single 9/11 family member that thinks this is a good idea. And the reality here is that everything about 9/11, everything about this 23-year national nightmare that we've had to contend with has been a horrific travesty. From the days after 9/11, when the U.S. government worked with Saudi Arabia to cover up the Saudi Arabian role, to the time we sent 5,000 or 6,000 of our troops to be slaughtered in Iraq for no reason, to the very fact that Congress just denied the benefits for the first responders, to now this, to where we're getting these terrorist sweetheart cupcake deals. We've been kicked in the gut time and time again, and we're sick of it. And we are so hopeful that we finally have a president who's going to do the right thing here. And one thing I want to point out is that on 9/11 this year, when VP Harris and Biden sat behind the red rope at the 9/11 World Trade Center memorial, President Trump was in a 9/11 firehouse. He was in a New York City firehouse. He was there with me, and I got a chance to talk to him. And we said to him, Mr. President, you were right in 2016 when you said it was Saudi Arabia that knocked down those towers. He said it on this very show on Fox and Friends. We said, Mr. President, we had to get the information not from the U.S. government about Saudi Arabia's role. We had to get it from the British government. We said, Mr. President, the same people who tried to take you down in Russia, Bob Mueller and the deep state of this country are the same people who have blocked justice for us. They're the same people that came up with these horrible plea deals. Would you do something to help us? And he committed to us that day in a New York City firehouse on 9/11 that if he were elected president, he was going to do the right thing. He said he could deal with Saudi Arabia and he was going to bring us final justice and closure. And we're going to hold him to account on that. And we're very hopeful. This is a new start for America. We have a Republican-controlled Congress. We have a president in the office who puts America first. So let's hope that he really, truly does that.
Well, I think you just gave one of the best encapsulations of the mistakes our government has made since 9/11. And I'm grateful to you for that. And I'm also grateful to you for staying strong and keeping on the government and exposing all of this. So thank you, Brett Eagleson.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.